So, Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 3 has created a reputation for supposedly being terribly repetitive, at least according to fans, users, professional critics, and some of the most influential YouTubers in the Bendy and the Ink Machine community. Well, what I am here to argue is simply that Chapter 3 is not exactly repetitive, it only seems to be because of how the main tasks are presented. For example, let me take all the so-called fetch quests of this chapter and put them in isolation. There is hunting enemies, searching for gears, 2 very different stealth sections, solving puzzles, and finally a defense against 3 mini-bosses. Now that we have isolated these quote-unquote fetch quests, someone may call these 2 stealth quests similar, but can't really make an argument to say these quests are repeating one another. So why is it that even the developers think these seemingly unrelated objectives are repetitive? Well, as I noted earlier, it is all caused by the presentation of these quests in this elevator. To show you what I mean, let's analyze the beginning of this chapter up to when the fetch quests are presented. First, the player wakes up in an unknown location after being saved by this character in an earlier chapter. And before you can proceed to any actual gameplay, you are told in the most ominous way possible to make soup for Boris, which translates to you having to find 3 soup cans in order to exit this room. After making soup, you escape down one-way rooms with no optional paths, to another find the items quest to open this door. The game even mocks itself by saying,
"Why is there always something blocking the door?"
A cutscene triggers. Then after the first mini-boss encounter and several cutscenes, we are led to the oh-so-infamous elevator. And here is where the fetch quests come in. Here, you meet Alice Angel, this chapter's main character, so to speak, who states that the player is their errand boy and must do her bidding, a statement that puts the player in a mindset that the next tasks will be boring and repetitive, which, believe it or not, is not a good mindset to put your players into. When you exit Alice's room, the door is sealed, and you are told to do one of 6 tasks. The tasks themselves consist of grabbing a new weapon, which is always just a reskin of the axe, go in the elevator, go to the correct floor, then go complete the task, go call the elevator back up since Boris moves the elevator back down to Alice's floor for no reason, go take the elevator down to Alice's floor, and go hear what the next task is. You repeat this set of events involving hearing Alice monologue and waiting for the elevator, and here is where the repetition comes in. Not in the tasks themselves, but in the process of returning to Alice each and every time you complete a task. To the point that on average, after every 7.5 minutes of gameplay, 2 minutes and 9 painful seconds spent waiting in an elevator or listening to Alice tell you what to do. Adding in the singular task that does not require you to use the elevator, and doing a bit of math, I've averaged that from when these fetch quests start, 20.56% of your gameplay is actually reporting to Alice and sitting in an elevator. That is about 10 minutes and 45 seconds of your first run being dropping off items and sitting in an elevator. And that, I believe, is what people are getting held up on when they say these fetch quests are repetitious. I can even prove it to you. If they got rid of the elevator, no one would complain about these quests. How? Well, remember when I mentioned that in the beginning of the chapter, we had 2 of the same search for X items to open the door in a row? Yet no one complained about that being repetitious. So yes, we've learned that Chapter 3 is indeed repetitious, but not in the same way everyone is thinking. Great. Now we come to the question I've asked in my other 2 chapters analysis: what can the Meatly Games, the team behind Bendy and the Ink Machine, do about it to fix this issue before the full game is released? And although Chapter 1 and 2 have major problems, they come with easy fixes. Chapter 3, on the other hand, is a bit more tough, since the elevator is used constantly and we want to get rid of it. we would have to change how you get to the different fetch quests, and to put it quite simply, I think the Meatly already knows how to change Chapter 3 for the better. Like I said, no one complained about the beginning of Chapter 3 because it was one challenge after another without any waiting time. So simply lay the 6 additional challenges out, one after another, in a linear fashion, without having to drop off the MacGuffins to Alice every 7 minutes. And if the elevator had to be used for the conclusion of the chapter, that's fine. Just have the player loop back to the elevator room when the 6 challenges are completed. And that, I believe, is how you make a better Chapter 3. And hey, if you liked this video, feel free to check out my analysis of Chapter 1 and 2. If you have seen those, consider clicking my logo here to subscribe to be notified of more weekly gaming analysis, including Chapter 4, Cuphead, and an upcoming video which explains why Bendy among other internet titans are so popular. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all next week.